Good day, students. Okay, so today, with only a little time left before CBT2 will come, I want to talk about my expectations for the upcoming CBT2 for Wuthering Waves, as well as the community feedback from CBT1. So sit down, open your notebooks, and sharpen your pencils, as today's class is hereby in session. Let's start with the big one, the story. The story of Wuthering Waves from CBT1 was one of the biggest complaints from the players, with comments such as that it was bland, monotone, all in all pretty basic, and slow-paced. Well, the developers did not take it lying down, and according to their more recent interview, they have gone and remade approximately 90% of the story, according to the latest developer interview, an amount that is quite unheard of if it is true, and also an amount high enough, which could practically mean entire different subplots, factions, and NPC allegiances. I, for one, am very excited and curious to see what they have in store for us and if the new story direction is the right one. Considering the quality of the story they managed to put in their other game, PGR, I am cautiously optimistic that they are going to get the recipe right this time. Moving on, another gripe from the previous CBT was that the world felt too empty. Players had to walk great distances between each monster spawn location. And in case you didn't know, in Wuthering Waves, the mobs from the overworld are also the ones who drop your gear. Therefore, the spawn rate and locations need to be carefully adjusted and placed to not make the gear farming either too much of a chore or too much of a breeze. Either option will impact the gameplay in a negative way. Hopefully, they tweaked this issue as well, and I hope they found some kind of balance. I would hate for Wuthering Waves to become another RNG fiesta gate-kept by low spawn rates and turn into the same chore that is the artifact farming in Genshin. Going by what was mentioned in the developer interview, it appears that they added an option to target a particular echo you are looking for from the tacit fields and get increased rewards from it. The newly added specialized echoes also appear to be an interesting addition, as they will add a daily or potential weekly activity depending on their spawn rate for players to chase after. They also reworked the echo interface, effects, and some animations for a couple of echoes present in the game. Continuing from here, I'm also excited about the new characters that are about to be introduced, to see what interesting new move sets they will bring to the table, and, of course, to see what changes they made to the old roster of characters, as the combat will be the bread and butter of this game. Out of the new units, Jianxing especially looks the most appealing to me. The parry mechanic that she has is one of my favorite mechanics, as this playstyle is extremely rewarding for those who have the patience to master it and has the potential to be a great unit for those who are looking for skill expressions. The world was also criticized in the previous CBT1 as being too bleak or feeling too empty. This also appears to be touched on in this CBT2, as the colors are visibly more vibrant, while also maintaining the original post-apocalyptic vibe. They also added additional environmental effects, which should help with the player's immersion. Some locations have also received a glow-up compared to the previous CBT1, and I, for one, look forward to seeing all the new changes implemented to the scenery, as Wuthering Waves is also an open-world game at its heart, and if the world setting is not built properly, many players will lose the immersion and the connection they initially made with the game. The biggest example of how an open world can impact your player retention is Genshin, which has managed to this day to still have millions of players eagerly awaiting each new addition to the world. So yeah, I also have hopes for the developers to continuously improve the open-world aspect of the game. And we cannot forget about the core aspect of the game, the combat, which also received some critique in the previous beta, mainly due to poor optimization, camera movement, and lack of impact for the animations. The boss fights were also critiqued due to the camera movements, as it was quite difficult to adjust to the boss movesets since Wuthering Waves involves a lot of moving and aerial combat. This issue also appeared to have been addressed by what was mentioned in the developer interview, as we can expect improved camera movement, especially for boss fights, newly added character animations, including idle, walking, and running animations, but also new animations for dodging or parrying. They also mentioned improving the frame rate to increase stability during combat. The QTE ability, which was the ability triggered when you switch from one unit to another, appears to have been reworked into two distinct abilities, the intro and the outro skill, which will trigger when you fill the resonator gauge and when you switch your unit to another one, respectively. I believe this is a welcome change, and I cannot wait to see how it performs, as this will undoubtedly bring a new layer to the overall team rotations. Finally, as Wuthering Waves is at its heart a gacha game, I'm looking to see if any news or changes will be added regarding the gacha aspect, mainly what will be the rates for the unit banner and for the weapon banner. If they will also add a monthly pass and a battle pass as well as if the rewards provided by them will be enticing enough. And of course, what most players would like to know is what the economy for the currency required to pull on said banners will look like. Will they go the PGR route and essentially guarantee you have enough to guarantee a unit per patch, or will it go the Genshin route, where you will have to skip and plan ahead in order to secure the desired units? And that's all my hopes for the upcoming CBT2. What are yours? Do you think they will deliver on everything presented in the developer discussion? Let me know in the comments which aspect of the game you are most excited to see changed. And until next time, I am Professor Veritas Ratio, and remember, stay smart and sexy.